Any questions? Before we take the tea break, just a reminder, we're going to have one more speaker before the tea break. Just a reminder, we're going to have the lucky draw at the end of today. The next speaker will be supposed to be the last speaker for today, Mr. Chen from Malaysia, representing SITA Group of Companies. The topic for today is Asterisk and other open source application, contributions to building and property management industry. Let's welcome Mr. Chen.
It's good to be in Vietnam after many years away. I think the last time I remember we did a roadshow here. I think it's a much smaller place, and 5 years ago, yes. But we have started Asterisk awareness program about almost 7 years, 8 years. And can see that certain countries, the awareness already there, like Malaysia. Malaysia, you ask them about Asterisk, everybody know about it, okay? And now it's a lot of tender or everything that is Asterisk part of it. We only have 4 competitors that is against Asterisk, or a proprietary system that is fighting against Asterisk is NEC, Toshiba, Panasonic. Maybe Awaya. There's mainly these are a few people who are playing in the field. I believe that with some awareness program like what Tuan, and I think the SEC, they did a good job and worked so hard for this program to happen. And I hope awareness will be created for Asterisk. I would like to share with you what I have learned over the past 7, 8 years in Asterisk and also in other open source technology. I was involved in open source technology for almost 18 years. Okay, the time where we can't afford to pay $5 and to have a small little room, we try to tell everybody how good about open source. I think that thing has changed, right? Things have changed for the past 18 years. So this is a time that we should go very serious. I think everybody here are real serious professional. So we should share something real serious. Because I come from a background, it's a very serious background. I used to work for a company called Case PLC, which is Vodafone. You know Vodafone? Vodafone, it used to be Case become Vodafone. Vodafone is a very international known organization. And after that, I was back in Malaysia and started the computerization on banking sectors. And Malaysia was the first country in this region that was basically computerized. Before everywhere else happening. And we have privilege to be there with the bank. We almost done about 25 banks, okay, in about 5-6 year period to get the whole system up running. And after that, we run around in the region to support banking sectors. So I'm known in the region, right, in the banking sectors. But because of the open source, and I believe that the technology is for the future, for you, for your generation to come. Is open source. I want to share some thought of mine in this afternoon. It's relating to buildings. So I believe everybody know about Asterisk as a PABX, as a call center, as an IVR, as a recording system, basically Asterisk is everything, right? So I want to share something I know about, and I hope if you have anything to share, you let me know because we like to learn here from each other. This afternoon, my presentation is Asterisk and other open source application, potential to this and contribution to building and property management industries. You see, for some of you who are not in property or buildings, which we have been in many years, is that property people are not rich people. They are not like banks. They are not like oil and gas industries. Right? They're depending on fees. From every tenant, every people who stay there contribute a fee to be able to manage the buildings, right? And you know what happened? If everybody contribute, then fine. But in this world, not everybody contribute, right? So chances is that they do not have finance to support the environment well, okay? And that especially happened in Malaysia. I want to share with Malaysia because there's a country that I know best in the property management industry. Because we were involved in this since 1993. We built one of the pioneer in property management software called billing system. We produce bill to build all the people who live in the apartment. Okay, and we actually had we use about 85% of share of the market share on the particular segment of the accounting software. Okay, let me share, because the thing has moved on, so let me share about what open source can do in this industry. Okay, I'm very excited this afternoon because it's like the answer. For many years you never answer, but suddenly answer come. I think Asterisk and other open source application is really going to apply very, very well in property management. First, because the elimination of cost. Okay. Second, it is a community, right? Open source is a community, right? So we share, we come and share, and you go and share, right? It's a community. The third, property is a community, right? So, and the other thing, we have many things that we can mention. I would like to run through because I have hopefully enough time to run through all that. Okay. Okay, today, are you familiar with all these logo? Facebook, Twitter, Google, Apple, Skype. What are they in common? They're billion-dollar company, right? Right? Facebook worth about 100 billion. When they sell the market, eventually they capitalize 100 billion US dollars, not 100 billion Gong. It's 100 billion US dollars. And so are the others. You know what technology they base it on? Can anybody guess? What tool do you use to write all this software to make all these companies successful? Do they employ MCSE? Are they .NET? Are they Oracle technology? Is it IBM? Lotus Note? All this in common. The answer is no. They are all open source platform adaptation. The only thing proprietary about Google's is the search engine. Everything else, they take it from open source technology. So is Apple. So is Twitter. So is Facebook, right? They all adopt open source technology to make a business, a very successful business out of it, right? That shows open source is a very serious contestant today. If you are an IT man, you should turn away everything proprietary and start looking at open source, because this is where your lifeline is, your future is, your children's future are. Okay? Now, for example of open source project. What is the open source? Today, you take a look at this, go to the website and go download the code. You get everything you need. You have source code, you have library, you have everything. Only thing you need is try to understand programming, right? That particular programming, either PHP, Java, or what. And you are there. You are in open source business as a technical person. Okay? These are only few of them. There are many, right? For example, these are something you know, like HR, ERP, the operating system, Office, Asterisk. They are all open source, right? VLC, the video player for you to stream videos, they are open source. Right? Okay, no longer open source. Okay, if you think that you are buying VMware, they are open source. I think you are just buying another piece of proprietary software. Okay, it's not open source. Don't get conned by your salesman to say that you are buying open source software called VMware. So are Red Hat. So are VMware or Red Hat or even Trixbox. A Sugar CRM is not open source. You must know that. Joomla is no longer open source, bought over by Google and they close the source. So as a community person, you must know that some code can close. Today open, tomorrow close. So you must know and sharp enough to know you should move on to an open source platform in order to develop your technology so that you are not controlled or tied up by a proprietary code. You can make your code nice and like Apple, which become a closed source and they sell a lot of money, right? You can do that, but make sure the platform are open. Otherwise, you'll be depending on the other guy for your livelihood, right? A conventional PLBS system. You know, PLBS system is not an easy system to understand. Do you know that the phone system has been around for 100+ years? Okay? I used to work for a company called AT&T. They invented telephone system, right? And we're so proud of the company because it was 100 years old, 100 plus. Right? They actually showed that. Traditionally, the phone system looked like that, right? Everything is in a box and costs millions, right? Right? We can't afford even to dream about having a PABX. What can we afford? Most of us are in the computer industry, majority, a key phone system. What is a key phone system? You got 3 lines coming, 20 people sharing the 3 lines. What do you have besides that? Nothing. Today, you basically have a PABX in a desktop, in the labs. You are SMI, 3 lines, 3,000 lines, it's the same. The same software will manage your business, okay? So I'm talking about the traditional, and this is where Asterisk come in. Asterisk basically replacing everything else, except the cloud, right, PSDN. Okay, the big picture is Asterisk basically do everything, supplier, your IVR supplier, practically every supplier, the billing system supplier, everything are replaced. Okay, it's basically a major shake out of industry. Other open source application, the potential contribution, practically in the property management industry. As I say, not all the property managers are rich people. In fact, they are poor people because they collect money collectively to survive. Maybe the law, like in Singapore, the law have made it strict that if you don't pay your maintenance, we have the right to kick you out or put you in jail. But other countries, most of them, it's difficult to get people to say, you pay $50 every month, right? So that is where the problem of property management faced for many, many years. Now, there is a good news about property management. Is that every aspect of the management, computerization of it, from a back office to the office automation, to your communication needs, to your conferencing, video, audio, multimedia stuff, streaming, to the community portal, the operation. Operation means what? You control your chillers, your air conditioning, your common area automation, your intercom, the door access, the bell, the security. All based on open source. Okay? Which means tomorrow you go back, you download all this, you can make all this happen. It costs you 0. Okay?